Good day. Sri Lanka is blessed with a reasonably good expressway network today. So, today I thought I should talk a little about our expressway system and how it evolved. The reason is I was heavily involved in some of the expressways, and the other expressways were designed by my students. So, I'm Professor M.T.R. Jayasinghe. I graduated from Moratuwa University, February 1987, after entering it in August 1982. And I read for PhD at Engineering Department, Cambridge University. I was attached to Churchill College. They have this college system where we live in the college, we study in the department. So we do research in the department, but we live in the college. College is the place where you get accommodation, and also in addition to that, we can get involved in many activities. And a lot of opportunities for engaging in sports, rowing, squash, hardball cricket, table tennis, tennis, you name it. You can do anything you like. And also undergraduates get their individual tuition at the college. So it's a very special education system. So at the college you have junior common room and middle common room, and it's called M.T.R. And the postgraduates belong to M.T.R. And then we have senior common room, and that is the postdocs and the professors. So Churchill College was actually a brainchild of Sir Winston Churchill, who won the Second World War for UK, and he looked at MIT in America, USA, and then he decided Cambridge also needs a college which concentrate more on science. So in Churchill College, generally 65 to 70% is science, and the remainder is arts. And Sri Lankans like to stay in Churchill College a lot because accommodation is good. It's away from the city, so you can always cycle to the city, and facilities are very good. The rooms it's a modern college, so all the facilities are superb. So Sri Lankans like Churchill College a lot. So let's look at. My PhD is on artificial intelligence, but the domain is continuous bridges with pre-stressing, and I sorted out a problem. I gave a theoretical solution to a big problem that baffled many senior design engineers for nearly 50 years. So my PhD is purely a theoretical PhD, which is considered as one of the rare ones, because most of the PhDs are based on experiments. But if you can develop a theory for PhD, then those are very special ones. And we have one more lecturer who did a theoretical PhD, and he is Dr. Tusita Sugathapala, one of the brightest that we had in our batch of 1982 to 86, completed the degree in 1987 February. So my background is on bridges, and I am a bridge engineer when I came to Sri Lanka. But later I mastered tall buildings, and today I can handle any kind of design without any effort. So our first southern highway was actually Colombo-Katnayaka Expressway, but it never materialized. So basically the first Southern Expressway became Southern Expressway, which has a total length of 200 kilometers from Kottawa to Matara. Kottawa to Matara. Kottawa to Matala is Southern Expressway. And Outer Circular Expressway is E2. It is from Kottawa to Keravalapitia. And then from Keravalapitia, it was extended to Kadawatha as well. And E3 is Colombo Katnayak Expressway. E4 is Central Expressway Section 2. From E4 is Central Expressway, but Section 2 is from Meerigama to Kurunegala. And we have E6, which is the Magampura Expressway from Andaraveva to Hambantota. There's a small arm from Andaraveva to Hambantota, and that is only 16 kilometers. That is E6. And E4 is Central Expressway, sections 1, 3 and 4 to be completed, which has a total length of 137 kilometers. Only 40 kilometers from Kurunegala to Meerigam has been completed. And stage 2 to be open, stage 1 will be opened in about 1.5 years time, which means from Matala we can travel directly to Kurunegala on an expressway. And in addition to that, Ruwanpura Expressway was also awarded, and Ruwanpura Expressway is from Kahatuduwa up to Palmadulla, and already awarded, but because of various financial constraints, this expressway will be, with the advance already paid, Maga Engineering will complete this expressway from Kahatuduwa to Horana in the first stage. And then we are having another arm for this Central Expressway, and that is from Athurugiriya to New Kalani Bridge, and that's an elevated highway of 17 kilometers. That is also that is under construction, will be completed in 2025. And Port Access Elevated Highway is also under construction, and it will be completed towards the end of this year. It's only 5 kilometers. So those are the expressways. So we are going to have about that is E9 is Port Access, and E6 is Magampur Expressway, E4 is Central Expressway. There's no E5 at the moment. There's no E6 and E7, and those might come because Ruwanpur Expressway is yet to be named. So we don't know whether it will be E7 or E8, whatever the name given. So basically, because the expressway is still just started, and I will be helping. I have told the current Director General, who is a very good friend of mine, to whom I taught how to do bridge design about 20 years ago. So he's now one of the expert bridge engineers in Sri Lanka, in addition to being one of the top highway design engineers of Sri Lanka. So basically, Road Development Authority is full of expert engineers who can handle big projects. So Director General himself is a top engineer. And so basically we are going to have a meeting on how to use the latest advances of Eurocode to minimize the cost of construction, so that within the tender value given, Maga Engineering will be able to complete the project with a profit, despite the huge escalation of costs we have seen. For that, we have to optimize, and we have to give a value engineering solution. Generally, we charge a lot for value engineering. Basically, we charge 10% of the saving for value engineering. But this time I decided I'm going to do it free of charge, to help this national project. So if you look at Southern Expressway started, the foundation stone was laid by the UMP government of 2002 to 2003. And then it was started, and it dragged on, delays, and it was a highway of 4 lanes up to Kurugaha Hetamma, and then from Kurugaha Hetamma to Matara 2-lane expressway. But later they realized, there's no point in having 2-lane expressways. So because of that, the Kumagai company, which was given the task of constructing from Kuruduga Hetamma to Matara, was asked to concentrate from Kuruduga Hetamma to Gol and convert it to a 4-lane highway. So this was, there were so many problems. There was a collapse of a bridge in 2009, and then I was appointed the chairman of the Presidential Commission. The other members were Dr. Maharu from Peradeniya University, and Institution of Engineers also appointed a senior engineer from who has vast experience in irrigation engineering to investigate this matter. And so basically we had one Sinhala member, one Muslim member, and one Tamil member. So basically, I don't know whether they deliberately selected it or not, but so probably those days they wanted to represent. This was 2009. So these days we don't call Tamil Muslim and all that. We say we are all Sri Lankan. But those days, those differences were there. Now it's 12 years since end of war, and we all know there's no point in calling us Sinhalese and Tamils and all that. We all call us Sri Lankans. So this Southern Expressway, it was plagued with so many problems, and so because of that, we investigated, we highlighted the problems, and then we were. And later, once the commission is over, they realized that the problems cannot be solved easily, so they appointed Admiral Vasantha Karunagoda as the secretary to the ministry. He was a very honest person, and he gave a huge leadership. And he worked very closely with engineer Nimal Chandasiri. And Nimal Chandasiri is one of the finest engineers we ever produced in Sri Lanka, a graduate of 1980 from University of Moratuwa, 8 years senior to me at the university. He 8 years older than me, but he's a brilliant brain and one of the best engineers I have ever seen. And he can design bridges on one side of a half sheet. He's a very talented person, the most talented bridge engineer I have come across up to now. So he was involved, and then he was made the project director for this whole Southern Highway. Within less than 2 years of his appointment as the project director or the senior additional project director, he did not accept the project director post because he thought it is an insult to the project director who was already doing it. So because of that, Mr. Chansiri acted as the senior additional project director, and he got it finished. In less than 2 years of his appointment, Southern Expressways was completed up to goal, and it was open to traffic in November 2011. Then immediately after that, government decided to extend the road to Matara. So again, Mr. Chansiri was given the task, and the consultants were all from Sri Lanka. And it was a stretch of a road where 2 lanes were already completed. When you say 2 lanes, it's a fairly wide road because you have to allow 4 and 2 additional lanes, and it was widened to a proper 4-lane highway. And for that, the contract was Chinese, and the consultant was from Resource Development Consultants, headed by Mr. M.B.S. Fernando, who was a chairman of Road Development Authority earlier. So they did a fine job, and it was all completed in 2013, and the road was opened, and the total cost was only 4 billion rupees. 4 billion rupees for 32 kilometers of highway. And because it was only an upgrading of the already completed road, but there were few stretches where the road had to be completely constructed. So that is the stage 1 of that is the first part of my lecture on on highways, on expressways of Sri Lanka. Thank you.